So chapter number 2, forest and wildlife resources, we are going to start today. And here we are going to discuss about the forest resources of our country and the wildlife resources. So basically we'll be discussing about the different types of forest, okay, the classification of the forest, as well as the causes responsible for the depletion of the forest cover and how can we conserve this forest cover. Okay, so these are the topics which we are going to discuss. So in our country, around 24% of the total geographical area of our country is under the forest cover. Okay, around 24% of the total geographical area of our country is the forest cover. So it means that a huge area, huge land surface of our country is under the forest cover actually. Okay, so we need to discuss in details about these forest resources as well as about the wildlife which are found in this forest. Okay. So basically, we the human beings, we share this planet with millions of other living beings. Okay, so we are the human beings who live on this earth. So not only the human beings, but also the other living components are also there on this earth actually. Okay, the plants, animals, microorganisms and all. Okay, so we share this planet with millions of other living beings, starting from the microorganisms and bacteria, lichens to the banyan tree, elephants and the blue whales, etc. Okay, so the earth as a planet, okay, where life exists is mainly shared. Okay, it is mainly being shared by different living components actually, and these living components, it varies from a small microorganisms to the large animals like the blue whales and the elephants. Okay, and we human beings are the one who are the superior living creature on this earth actually. So this entire habitat we live in has immense biodiversity. Okay, so the entire habitat where we live actually, it has a immense biodiversity. That means here in this particular region where we are living actually, we can find different varieties of flora and fauna. Okay, different varieties of flora and fauna, that means plants and animals. We humans, along with the living organisms, form a complex wave of ecological system in which we are only a part and very much dependent on this system for our own existence. Okay, so we human beings, along with the other organisms, actually, we form a complex network. Actually, we form a complex wave, okay, of ecological system or ecosystem, we can say. And in this ecological system or the ecosystem, we are just a part actually. Okay, we human beings are just a part, and we are dependent on this entire system. Okay, we are dependent on this entire ecosystem for our existence, for our survival, because the food which we eat, it is being it comes from this ecosystem only. Okay, the food we eat, the like everything, okay, every need of the human beings, not only the need of the human beings but also the need of the plants and the animals, they get it from the ecosystem only, or the ecological system. Okay, so it is just because of the existence of the ecosystem that all the living components of a particular region, they can survive well. Okay, they can have their existence. For example, the plants, animals, and the microorganisms, they recreate the quality of the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the soil that produces our food, without which we cannot survive. Okay, so the plants, animals, and the microorganisms actually, they directly and indirectly, they help in the production of food. Okay, they help in maintaining the soil fertility, they help in renewing the fertility of the soil, they help in renewing the air quality and all. Okay, so the plants, animals, and microorganisms, they recreate the quality of the air we breathe, okay, the water we drink, and the soil that produces our food, without which we cannot survive actually. Okay. So the forest, basically the forest, they play a key role in the ecological system, as these are also the primary producers on which all the other living beings depend actually. Okay. So the forest, it basically play a key role. It plays a very important role in the ecological system, in the ecosystem. Okay, because the forest are the primary producers actually. Okay, the forest are the primary producers, and all the living beings, okay, all the living components on the earth, they depend on this forest cover for their survival. Like we human beings, we depend on the forest. Okay, the plants, sorry, the animals and all, they also depend on the forest for their survival. The forests are their homes. Okay, so the forest, they provide us with various medicinal herbs, they provide us with oxygen. Okay, so this is why the forest, okay, they play a very important role in the ecosystem, okay, or in the ecological system actually. Okay, and this is why we need to study in details about the forest resources of our country, because these forest resources, it helps in maintaining the environment of our country. Okay, and it helps in maintaining the balance, okay, between the uh living like wild animals and all. Okay, so basically here when we are discussing about the forest, we need to discuss about one topic, one term, that is biodiversity or biological diversity. Okay, so basically the term biodiversity or biological diversity means a particular area, okay, where we can find a particular geographical area or a territory where we can find different species of plants and animals living together. Okay, so biological diversity or biodiversity is immensely rich in wildlife and cultivated species, diverse in form and functions, but closely integrated in a system through multiple network of interdependencies. Okay, so biodiversity is basically rich in wildlife resources, in cultivated spaces which are being grown by the human beings. They also are having diverse form and functions, and these all are closely interrelated actually, okay, through multiple network. Okay, they are interdependent through multiple network actually. So biodiversity basically refers to the existence of different varieties of or different types of living components on the earth in a particular area. Okay. So there are many areas in the world where there's a very rich biodiversity, and there are many areas in the world where the biodiversity is not rich. Okay. So when we say that the biodiversity is very much rich, it means that in a particular geographical area, the different types of plants, animals, and microorganisms, okay, can be found. But when we say that it is not rich, actually, that means only few species of plants and animals can be found. Means the area is not so much rich in different species actually. So this is just about the introduction to the forest resources of our country. So let us discuss in detail about the flora and fauna in India. Okay, see, the term flora basically means the plants and fauna means the animals. Okay, so whenever I'm using the term flora and fauna, you have to keep it in your mind that flora basically represents the plant community and the fauna basically represents the animal community. Okay. So if you look around, you will be able to find that there are some animals and plants which are unique in your area. And in fact, India is one of the world's richest countries in terms of its vast array of biological diversity. Okay, so we people, okay, like we the human beings who live on this planet Earth actually. So if we look in our surrounding area, we'll find that different types of plants and animals in our area actually, and they are unique. It means the types of plants and animals which exist in our geographical area may not be found in the other geographical area, may not be found in the other areas. Okay, for example, like we are living in the foothills of the Himalayan region, and here we can find different types of wild animals, different types of plants. Can these types of plants and animals will be found in the desert region, or it will be found in the polar areas and all? No, it cannot be found. Okay, so every particular region has its own unique features. Okay, every particular region has its own type of animal and plant species actually. Okay, and in fact, India is a country actually which is having the world's India is one of the richest country actually in terms of biological diversity. Okay, that means in terms of the varieties of flora and fauna present in our country, India is one of the richest country. Okay, because in our country the climatic condition is very much favorable, as well as the climatic condition varies from one area to another. Okay, not only the climatic condition but also the types of the soil, the types of the landform also has helped India to be very rich in different types of flora and fauna actually. So this is why within our country we can find that in different regions, different types of forest covers are there, different types of trees grows. And in this forest, okay, we can find different types of animals living actually. So this makes our country very rich in biological diversity actually. So this is possibly twice or thrice the number yet to be discovered actually. So what if like the present species of plants and animals or the biological diversity which we have actually, that is just a part. Okay, but many are yet to be discovered. Means many exist actually in our country, but we don't have any idea about them. That means the information about those species of plants and animals is not there in our like we don't have that basic information actually, but they exist actually. Okay. So you have already studied in details about the extent and variety of forest and wildlife resources in India. Okay, so in class 9 only, you all have studied about the different types of forest in our country actually. Okay, so you may have realized the importance of these resources in our daily life, and even you have realized, okay, the importance of the forest resources in our country actually, because they helps in maintaining the biological diversity, they helps in maintaining the environmental conditions. Okay, so this diverse flora and fauna are so well integrated in our daily life that we take this for granted. Okay. And this diverse flora and fauna, this diverse variety of the plants and animals, they are so interlinked with our integrated with our daily life that we take it for granted actually. Okay, and we does not bother about them. So in many cases we use them indiscriminately. Okay, we does not take care of it actually. Okay. So, but lately they are under great stress, mainly due to insensitivity to our environment. Okay, and in lately we can say that this diverse varieties of flora and fauna, that is the forest and the wildlife resources of our country, they are under great stress actually. Okay, why they are under great stress? Because we have used these resources, that is the forest and the wildlife resources, in an indiscriminate way. And this is the reason that nowadays we are facing various kinds of environmental problems, as because the forest resources has not been conserved actually, they has not been protected. And we can see that there are many number of animals in our country whose number has gone down. Okay, they are now available only in few numbers. Even there are many animals which has got extincted actually, means which are no more found in our country. So all this has happened just because of insensitive nature of the human beings towards the environment. Okay. So according to the some estimates actually, okay, according to some studies, so some estimates suggest that at least 10% of India's recorded wild flora and 20% of its mammals are in the threatened place actually. Okay, so according to the estimate, okay, done by different organizations and all, around 10% of India's recorded wild flora, okay, about 10% of the wild varieties of plants and 20% of the mammals actually, 20% of the animals, they are in the threatened place actually. Okay, means they are about to be get extincted actually, means if we don't protect them, if we don't conserve them, then they may get exhausted, they may get extincted. Okay, so many of this would now be categorized as critical, that is on the verge of extinction, like the cheetah. Okay, so many of these species of plants and animals are at the verge of extinction, like the cheetah. Okay, the Asiatic cheetah actually, like the number of Asiatic cheetah is very much less in our country. Even actually recently in the last 2 or 3 years, like there are cases that we have found the existence of this cheetah actually. Okay, but before it was totally extincted actually, almost extincted. Pink-headed duck, okay, pink-headed duck, mountain quail, okay, forest spotted owlet, and plants like Mahuwa insignicis. Okay, these are the wild variety of mahua tree and a species of grass actually, which are no more found in our country. Okay, which are no more found in our country actually. Why? Because of indiscriminate use of these resources, because we have not taken care of these resources actually. In fact, no one can say how many species have already been lost. Even we don't have the exact information about how many species have already been lost, because there are many species actually which we are not aware about. Okay, there are many species of plants, animals, and all. Even we don't know that they exist on this earth. Okay, so they may have existed actually. Today, we only talk of the larger and the more visible animals and plants that have become extinct. But what about the smaller animals like insects and the plants? So basically, we are having the record, or we have the information about those plants and the animals which are visible in nature, means which are larger in number actually. Okay, but there are also many microorganisms, bacteria, small plants, and animals actually. Okay, about whom we does not have the information. So like they may have got extincted actually. So what about them actually? Okay, because these plants, animals, small animals, microorganisms also, they also help in maintaining the environmental balance, isn't it? So this is why actually we need to take care of all the species actually. If proper care is not been taken, okay, then a day will come that this species of flora and fauna may get extincted, means they will be totally extincted from the earth's surface actually, and we may not find it in the near future. So according to the data the dimension of deforestation in India is staggering. Actually, it is very much increasing. The forest and the tree cover in the country is estimated at 79.42 million hectares, which is 24.16% of the total geographical area. Okay, so actually the total forest and the tree cover in our country is 79.42 million hectare, and it is around 24.16% of the total geographical area. So before starting the chapter, I have said you that around 24% of the total geographical area of our country is under the forest cover. Okay, and out of this 24.16%, only 12.2% is the dense forest. Okay, only 12.2% is the dense forest, and whereas 19.4% is the open forest, and 0.14% is the mangrove, okay, which can be found in the deltic regions. So according to the State of Forest Report 2015, the dense forest cover actually, okay. So according to the forest report of the year 2015, the dense forest cover has increased by 3,775 square kilometers since 2013. Okay, so in our country, the dense forest cover has increased by 3,775 square kilometer. Okay, in 2 years actually, since 2013 actually, since 2013 to 15 means total 3,775 square kilometer area has increased actually. Okay, so this has become possible just because of the positive policies of the government, as because the government has taken some strict policy to increase the forest cover to protect the forest resources of our country. Okay. It's raining, like it's raining in my area now. It is rainfall has started. What about your locality? Is it raining?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so like network problems will be there.
Yes.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, I'm just starting the recording. Okay. However, this apparent increase in the forest cover is due to the conservation measures, management interventions, and plantation, etc., by the different agencies. Okay. So basically, this increase in the forest cover has become possible because of the conservation measures which has been followed by the local people as well as by the government. Okay, and as well as the management and intervention, okay, and the plantation of the trees by different organizations, by different agencies and all. So in our country, actually, according to the rules, actually, okay, in our country, out of the total geographical area, okay, 33% of the area should be under the forest cover. Okay, in our country, at least 33% of the area should be under the forest cover to maintain a better environmental condition. But we are having only 24% of the area under the forest cover. Okay, but out of this 24% also, okay, in this 24% only, actually the trees or the forest does not exist. Okay, in the actual forest cover is only 21%. Okay, 21% is the actual forest cover in our country, means where actually the forest is in existence actually. Okay, see. So let us now understand the different categories of the existing plants. Okay, let us now understand the different categories of the existing plants and the animal species. Okay, so based on the International Union for the Conservation of Nature and the Natural Resources, the different species of the plants and the animal species has been categorized into different categories actually. Okay, they have been categorized into different categories to according to their number actually. Okay, according to their number, according to their vulnerability, they have been categorized into different categories such as the normal state species, endangered, endemic, extinct, vulnerable and all. Okay, so we'll be having a detailed study about this classification of the plants and the animals actually, which is given by the International Union for Conservation of Nature and the Natural Resources. So first we start with the normal species. Normal species basically refer to those species of plants and animals whose population, okay, whose population is normal, whose population is adequate actually. For example, like we can see there are some common animals, plants and all, okay, and their number is good actually. They are not so less in number actually. Okay, such as the cattle, okay, the seal tree, the pine tree, the rodents, etc. So these kinds of plants and animals are considered as the normal species actually. That means their total population is in normal. Okay, but what happens if we go on using these resources, if we go on utilizing the trees like sal, pine, rodents, okay, the cattle are being utilized, okay, what will happen? Their number will go on reducing day by day. Okay, so if their number goes on reducing day by day, what will happen? Okay, they will come under the different categories actually. Okay, means when the number of the species it goes down actually, the total number of the species goes down. Okay, they can be classified into different categories such as the endangered, okay, endangered category, vulnerable species, rare species, and all. Okay. So first of all, let us study about the endangered species. What does the term endangered species mean actually? Let me see. Endangered species. Endangered species, okay, these are the species which are in danger of extinction. Okay, these are the species of plants and animals which are in danger of extinction. That means their population is very low, and if they are not protected or if they are not conserved, a day will come that all the species will get exhausted fully. They will get extincted, and their presence cannot be found in the near future. Okay, their presence cannot be found in the near future actually. So the survival of such species is difficult if the negative factors that have led to a decline in their population continue to operate. Okay, so the survival of such species of animals and plants is going to be very difficult actually if the factors which has caused reduction in their number goes on operating actually. Okay, some examples of such species are the black buck, the crocodile, Indian wild ass, the Indian rhino, lion-tailed macaw, the Shanghai, which is a type of deer actually, brown-entered deer in Manipur, etc. So these are the different types of animals actually, okay, which are considered as the endangered species. That means their number is very much few. The total population of this species of these animals are very less actually. So if we do not protect them or if we do not conserve them actually, what will happen? They will die or they will be killed and they will get totally extincted. So in the near future, we may not find it. Like the Indian rhinos. Okay, they are very much limited. Okay, they can be found only in certain areas of our country, basically in the Kaziranga National Park and all. Okay, so if the presence of this Indian rhinos, like they are being killed illegally or they die normally, what will happen? Like they will get exhausted and we may not find it in the near future, isn't it? So this kind of species of plants and animals are known as the endangered species. The next is the vulnerable species. Vulnerable species are the species whose population has declined to level from where they are likely to move in the endangered category. So from the normal category, the number of species has gone down. Okay, and if the number of these species goes further down, then they will go to the category of endangered species. Okay, so those species are known as the vulnerable species. Means if their total population decreases further, so they will move to the endangered category actually. Okay, so the examples of such species are the blue seal, the Asiatic elephant, the Gangetic dolphin, etc. Okay, Gangetic dolphin is the means that the dolphin which is found in the river Ganga actually. Even in river Ganga, we find the existence of dolphin, but their population is very less actually. So if they are not conserved or protected, they will go to the endangered category, and from the endangered, they will get extincted actually. The next is the rare species. Species with small population may move to the endangered category or vulnerable category if the negative factors affecting them continue to operate. The examples of such species are the Himalayan brown deer, wild Asiatic buffalo, the desert fox, and the hornbill. Hornbill is a type of bird actually. Okay. So the rare species are those species which are found only in few numbers actually. Okay, means from naturally they are available in few numbers only, but if the number of these animals goes further down, they may go to the vulnerable or the endangered category. Okay, such as the Himalayan brown bear, which can be found only in the Himalayan region, the Asiatic buffalo, the desert fox, which is found in the desert region, and the hornbill. Okay, like we can find the existence of hornbill in the foothills of the Himalayan region. Like if you go to Sukna, this region and all, Mahananda Wildlife Sanctuary, there we can find the existence of this hornbill. Okay. The next category of species is the endemic species. Okay, so these are the species which are only found in some particular areas, usually isolated. Okay, which are usually isolated by the natural or the geographical barriers. Okay, example of such species are the Andaman teal, Nicobar pigeon, Andaman wild pig, Mithun in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so endemic species are those species of animals or plants which can be found in a certain geographical area. Okay, and because of the geographical boundary or because of some geographical barrier, okay, they are not found in some other regions actually. Okay, they are limited only in certain areas. For example, Andaman teal, Nicobar pigeon, Andaman wild pig, they are found only in Andaman Nicobar Island. So we cannot, there are no chances of this animal, okay, a presence of this animal in the mainland of India because it is surrounded by the water bodies on all sides. So how this pigs, pigeon and all, they can come to this region actually? They cannot come actually, isn't it? So that is why they are confined to their own area. Means if we bring them, that is something different, but naturally they cannot come. Okay, like the Mithun in Arunachal Pradesh. Mithun is actually type of buffalo actually. Okay, we cannot say buffalo, but the name is only Mithun actually. It's a type of animal actually. Okay, the endemic species. The next, the extinct species. Okay, this is the last category of species actually. So as I have said earlier, that when the number of animals or the number of trees or plants of a particular species goes down and they get completely extincted, means they get vanished from the earth's surface, those species are known as the extinct species actually. Okay, so these are species which are not found after searches of known or likely areas where they may occur. So basically those species of plants and animals which are no more in existence, okay, no more in existence in those areas where they were available before actually, such species are known as the extinct species. Okay, a species may be extinct from a local area, region, or a country or continent or the entire earth. Okay, so a particular species may get extincted from a local area, from a region, from a country, or from a continent, or maybe from the entire earth. Okay. For example, the Asiatic cheetah. The Asiatic cheetah is extincted in India. Okay, it is no more found. But recently, like I think not more than 1 year also, like there was, it came in the news actually that Asiatic cheetah has been spotted in some places of India actually. Okay, maybe one or two in number. Okay, so it's actually good actually. So if they are available actually, so their population needs to be increased. The pink-headed duck. Okay, a duck used to exist actually whose head was actually pink in color actually. Okay, pink-headed duck. Okay, so these are the example of the extincted species. Okay, so those species which are no more found in our country or on this earth, they are the extinct species. Okay. So these are the different categories of species as okay, as given by the International Union. Okay, International Union for Conservation of Nature and the Natural Resources. So one thing I need to add here is that about the Asiatic cheetah. So as we know that Asiatic cheetah is one of the fastest animal in the world actually, and it can run at a speed of 112 per kilometer actually. Okay, so this Asiatic cheetah actually prior to the 20th century, cheetahs were widely distributed throughout Africa and Asia. Okay, so prior to the 20th century, okay, this Asiatic cheetah was available in adequate number, okay, in huge number in different parts of Asia and Africa. Okay, but today, the Asiatic cheetah is nearly extinct due to the decline of available habitat and prey. And today, this Asiatic cheetah is about to be extincted. Okay, like from India, it is extincted, but from the other regions also, it is about to be extincted because the habitat, the area where they live, is no more favorable, and because like food is also not available to them actually. Okay, so this species was declared extinct in India in the year 1952. Okay, so the Asiatic cheetah was officially declared extinct in the year 1952 in India. Okay, so officially the Asiatic cheetah was declared extinct in our country in the year 1952. Okay, so this is what about the classification of the different species of plants and animals. Okay, according to their existence or according to their availability actually. Okay, so let us conclude till here only. Okay, next day we are going to discuss further about the next part of this chapter.